Hello everyone. Thank you for showing interest in learning the training program on Python for beginners. And by getting to this particular training program, you are definitely entering into the different world of opportunities in your career. Okay, and it is our responsibility to make sure that you create a different world for yourself. Okay, and today being the introduction session, we'll just quickly go through the very basic things about Python, okay? And so this will help you to prepare yourself for how to complete the entire training course, okay? Alvin Toffler says, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Okay, so most of you might be from coming from might be just joined your college, or some of you might be towards the end of your college looking for the job opportunities, or some of you already out of the college and still searching for a job, or some of you already working in an organization but you just want to change your career to IT, or you are in IT but you just want to change it to a different career altogether itself. Okay, so then the different, I hope different set of people are available and attending to this training program. Okay, and so whatever the things that you have learned so far, okay, it would have brought you to the level what you are today. Okay, and if you want to prepare yourself for the future, you need to definitely unlearn the old things whatever you learned, and then you need to relearn something new, and so that will define your future life, right? So that is what the whole thing is about. I mean, what are all the few expectations we have to make your learning more better? I mean, we don't expect you to have a prior knowledge of any programming language. Okay, so that means you can be an IT or non-IT background. Okay, but you will find this learning, and definitely as a beginner you'll be learning, and you will find it more interesting as well. And then we always look at think everything in a very common sense approach. Don't make things very complicated by yourself. Okay, so simplest a simple way, understand the things as it is, and then you'll be able to make it your learning very comfortable. And yeah, I mean, we also want you to have a strong aptitude for learning. Okay, so that you can fast. I mean, you should have the curiosity to learn. And okay, what are all the different ways I can do that? And something is thought about the subject during the training session, and there are many other ways to do the things. So you can always have that curiosity to learn, and then make your learning strong, and then make your fundamentals clear. Okay, so we recommend you to have a good self-discipline, and also a strong commitment to do the do practice. Okay, so I mean that means we suggest you to have every day you dedicate yourself about 90 minutes for 90 days, and so that you'll be able to build your skill in the Python programming world. Okay, and you can I mean even if you are a beginner and you are searching for a job, okay, or if you just passed out of the college and you are looking for a job, my humble request is that you spend a dedicated time for preparing your skill first, and then jobs will come on your way. Okay, don't try to look at that. Okay, let me find a job and then try to learn after joining the getting the job. So, which in today's world it is not possible, because most of the organizations are nowadays looking at skill-based hiring. Even from the day they are hiring from the colleges itself, they look at whether the guy has a prior knowledge about the subject or not. Okay, so that's where we suggest you to strongly go through that and then prepare yourself for it. Okay. So there is nothing but I just whatever I mentioned is nothing called 90-91 principle. Okay. So what that means the 90 days and every day 90 minutes and you focus on only one single goal. That is one single goal of, for example, learn Python full stack developer. You want to become a Python full stack developer in next 90 days time. That should be your goal. And then for that, what kind of preparations you need to do. So that is what is required for you. Okay. And your learning should bring in a huge amount of transformation to you. Okay, so the transformation should be like today, whatever you are, after 90 days of your rigorous learning, you will be transforming yourself from one area of your skill to the totally different skill. Okay, so this transformation, I can just give a simple comparison with how a milk getting transformed into a ghee, okay, and creating value and in the long run. Okay, if you look at it, the milk in the suppose I'm just considering everything at the room temperature. If you keep a milk at the room temperature, it can have its life for 6 to 12 hours, right? And if you want that life to be extended further, so what you will do, you convert the milk into yogurt or curd, right? So when you convert that, you are extending its life by another 6 to 8 hours of that. I mean, beyond that, again, it will have a souring taste, right? So then what you'll do, then you try to convert into buttermilk, right? When you convert into buttermilk, another 6 to 8 hours you are adding, that maybe one more day you'll be extending that. Okay. So that from the buttermilk, if you extract butter, then the butter can have a life of 1 to 2 days. It means you are extending the milk life by another 2 more days time. Okay. Now, and that butter, if you try to convert into, you melt it and then make it a ghee, then it has 3 to 6 months life. Shelf life, right? So that means you can preserve it for such a long period of time. The same is the case. You start, understanding the basics and then keep practicing it and transforming yourself over a period of time. Then you will be thoroughly learned about this subject and you are a master in that subject, right? So that kind of transformation you need to bring it for you. I hope you are able to follow what I'm explaining to you. Okay. So here is a quote from Confucius. So what it says, I hear, I forget, I see, I remember, I do, I understand. Right? Suppose you might have heard about Python during maybe it is your college days or school days, these days, right? Even in schools also the Python program is being taught now. Okay. You would have heard about it. Maybe what lecturers are saying about it, but you would have forgotten that. But if you see and if you, whatever the program code, simple things, whatever your teachers would have taught and explained to you on the board, and you still remember those things, right? Because you're seeing it through your eyes, then you'll be able to remember it. Okay. But when you actually do the programming and when you really do that and on the computer and instead of writing on a paper and just to solve the programming puzzles, then you find that you are able to understand the subject much better. Okay, so that's why we strongly suggest you to have the commitment to learn. Commitment to practice. Okay, so Swami Vivekananda also says practice, practice, and practice. So that is what he says that. So that nothing can be replacing, other than a practice. So keep practicing it. Definitely, you'll feel that your learning will be strengthened, and you'll be able to make a greater life for yourself. Okay. So let's quickly go through the course content. Okay. So we will be starting with the introduction to Python. So that's what we are currently going through that. And then we'll go through the variables and data types that is in Python programming. And then we'll go through the working with strings, numbers, and Boolean. And I just want to bring it here that whether it is a Python or any other programming languages, maybe Java, C, C++, right? Or even R and many programming languages are there. So you will find all these contents remain more or like same only. Maybe the programming one programming language to another programming language, the approach will be different. Maybe the syntaxes will be different, but the concepts remain same. Okay. So interestingly, what we'll be doing during our entire training program is that then and there we'll try to compare it with other training program. I mean other programming languages, so that you'll be able to learn. When you are learning Python, you will be able to parallelly learn maybe your favorite Java or R programming parallelly. Okay, so that is the power of thing you can learn using ChatGPT also. Okay, okay. So let's get into the next part of it. I mean, you will also learn about the data structures and collections. Python has list, tuple, set, range, and dictionary collections, and also it has an array module as well. Okay, and then next we have the operators and expressions. Okay, and then we'll be going through loops, conditional statements, and control statements. And loops, and you all know some of them is like while loop, for loop. You can go through that, and then conditional statements is like your if statement, if else statements, or even nested statements as well. Okay, I mean, then the control statements, maybe some of maybe you know aware, it's like your continue, break, and pass, right? So those are the control statement that we'll be using it. Okay, so we'll be learning all of them, and then we'll be learning about the functions and modules in Python, and then we learn about file handling, error handling. Okay, I mean, how the files are being handled, and then the errors which is shown while running the program. So how do we handle them? So we'll go through that. And then also, I mean, Python is being a object-oriented programming language. We'll try to understand what is object-oriented programming language. The basic concepts, we'll go through that. And this, whatever you learn here, it is applicable for other programming language as well. Okay. Then we will go, and Python has huge libraries. Okay. And we will be touch upon a couple of libraries like Matplotlib, Pandas, NumPy, SciPy, Seaborn, and Beautiful Soup. So all these things will be learning that. And we'll also give some additional references for you so that you can learn, the advanced level of Python programming part. Okay. So as the entire course is totally meant for the beginners, so we try to make sure that we cover up the basic things very well, and so that advanced thing you'll be able to learn on your own, because once the basics are done, and I'm very sure that you'll be able to learn much better. Okay, and apart from this the course content, we will also explain you different IDEs that are used in Python programming. So we will be starting with the basic idea of Python ideally, okay, and then the online editor like W3 School. There are other online editors also available. Okay, you will be slowly get exposed to them, and then we'll also may know how to make use of Google Colab for the same Python programming, and we'll also go through the Visual Studio Code, I mean, provided by Microsoft. Okay, this also, I mean, most predominantly used as PSC code, right? And then VS Code. Then we'll also understand about the PyCharm IDE part, and then Jupyter Notebook. Okay, because these are, I mean, Jupyter Notebook is extensively used. People who are working with AML related things, they'll be extensively using that as well. Okay, so as a beginner, at least you'll be able to know how to make use of these things. Okay, so that's what we'll be going through. That's an entire course. Okay. So the few requirements are there for the training program, and because these training programs are meant for both online and also instructor-led training programs, so the requirements are mentioned for the commonly for both. Okay, and you need to basically need to have a laptop or desktop, okay, and also a good headset and camera available in the thing. So whenever you have any doubts or clarification sessions you want to have, so that will be very much useful. And also ensure that you have a very good internet connection, and because since most of them will be on the Teams and everything, so good internet connection will help. And then we have the Microsoft Teams and Google Meet app, or if the Google Meet app, yeah, so we can use it for the video conferencing part. And then we'll have the, yeah, I mean, request you to have an email account, okay, so that all the training materials we will be sharing it to you, and you can all the practice lab sessions also will give it to you, so that you can uh, practice them as well. Okay, and we also suggest you to have an undisturbed learning environment every day. Okay, for example, as we discussed, minimum 90 days in it, 90 hours, sorry, 90 minutes you need to spend each day. Okay, so make sure that you are not getting disturbed during this 90 minutes of time. So give 100 per your 100% during that time and every day, and then definitely over a period of 90 days you will see a drastic changes happen for you. Okay, and also suggest you to have a dedicated notebook for taking the notes and whatever you are learning, so that you will be able to remember them and refer them also in the future. Okay, and then also we, because this particular training program we were trying to, I mean, here and there we'll be referring to ChatGPT. Okay, so you can I mean how to make use of ChatGPT for your programming. Okay, so we suggest you to have a basic knowledge about that. And if you're some of, if you are new and if you're not knowing about it, and please be feel free to go through this video, right, which is nothing but your this video will explain about the open AI for everyday life, how to use it, so that you will, it will give you some idea for you, so how to make use of ChatGPT. Okay, so here is a quick agenda. So we will be going through what are the programming languages that are existing, and what is the Python program, and why Python program is so popular, and then what are all the features of Python program, and also we will go through the Python use cases. I mean, I just mentioned a couple of use cases, especially from for typically guys coming from mechanical engineering background and also networking background. Okay, and we can have any number of use cases. If you need specifically, please feel free to contact me. I'll just show you what are the use cases you can use Python. Okay, and then I'll also explaining about the learning path, what is the path in which you need to continue, and what are all the career opportunities you will get if you learn Python. So that also we'll go through that. And then we'll be learning about how to install the Python programming. Okay, and using the online Python editor, how to work with online Python editor also will explain, especially W3 schools online editor will go through. Okay, and then the setting up development environment like PyCharm or Visual Studio Code, VS Code, or Jupyter Notebook also we'll just do. But we'll not be covering it up in the today in this module. But the respective module when we are doing it, will be introduced on that. Okay, and then also, yeah, only one or two examples I'll show it to you how to work with ChatGPT and Google Gemini, and so that you will have a curiosity to know more about the programming language. I mean, make use of ChatGPT for your day-to-day programming. Okay. So with this, we'll quickly go through the programming languages. There are many programming languages are available in the world. Okay, so and if you look at it, Python is the most popularly used programming language now. Okay, so it is almost now 35 years old programming language. We'll see it quickly, and so it is. I mean, almost more than 28% of the developers are using Python now. Okay, and then next comes the Java, and then JavaScript, and then C Sharp and C++, and PHP, Swift, R, Kotlin. So like that, so some of these programming languages are being used. Okay. In fact, if you look at it, this ranking itself is again generated from ChatGPT only. Okay. And coming to Python, so Python is created by Guido van Rossum in 1989. So now today, when this presentation is made, we are in 2024. It means exactly 35 years has been completed. I mean, the Python program has this, I mean, it has been evolved over a period of so many years. Okay, and Python is a it is a general purpose language, so it can be used for any area of programming part. Okay, and then it is a high level programming language, and also it has an interpreted language. Okay, so you can there's nothing like you will be compiling and running and all those things. In the real time, it can interpret and then continue, and then it is with an easy syntax. You will really appreciate how Python programming is written with simple syntaxes, unlike other programming languages. You'll find it very easy. And also the dynamic semantics also you'll be seeing that. That means in Python you don't have to declare a variable name, whether it is a string or int or float at the beginning itself. And so you'll be, based on the context, it automatically, based on the value that you are assigning it, it automatically identifies the variable types. So that is one of the properties of the dynamic semantics. Okay. So let's now quickly look at why Python is so popular. Okay. So because Python is becoming very popular only because it is very easy and it is fun to work with it. Okay. I've been in the IT industry for the last 20, 80 plus years. Okay. And so now just to give you a quick thing, I just crossed my age of 50 years now. Okay. But still at this age, I wanted to learn the programming languages. So I started learning Python, especially during the lockdown time. Okay. During the lockdown time, lockdown, you all know, right? Because of the COVID-19. So we need to be at home. So we were just wanted to know what else we can do for it. Okay. So why can't we build a competency in a new area? That's how it started. So we started learning the Python. It was really because as and when you start, because you all have the back of your mind your other programming languages, but when you look at Python, you find it okay. It is so easy and so interesting to learn it kind of thing. That's how it has. Python has motivated me to learn about the learning of this Python programming itself. Okay, so then I started learning it. Then I also wanted to give back something to the society, especially during the lockdown time, where the school children or the college-going students or the people who are looking for a job and they all do not know what to do because there is no such job opportunities for them and or there's no schools are running, colleges are not running. So in order to engage them, so I started giving this training program also to them. Then later, after the couple of batches of training, I realized I can't do the same training session within the organization where I'm working. So I started giving the training to my team, and then expanded the training to the other people as well. So because how many number of batches we conducted also, you still feel like it's very exciting to learn, and then there are a lot of things to learn, and then you'll be still excited to do that also, right? So that's how this learning also happened to me, and I still love enjoying working with Python as well. So that's why I just wanted to say it is easy and fun to work with it. Okay, and and it is a very it is a free one, Python. So that means there is no license involved. You can free to use. It is an open source, right? So you can do that. And then, especially if you compare to the other programming languages, the length of code that you are writing is relatively very short. Okay, so we'll be appreciating it as and when I'll have to touch upon this point as and when we learn the Python, the different subjects that I may explain to you. Okay, and Python can be used for wide range of applications. For example, it can be for web development, it can be for mathematical computations, or it can be for graphical user interface. You name any of them, you will use Python for that. For example, web development, some of you already work in Python, they know that there is a Django framework is available by Pyramid and the Falcon and for Flask and Bottle. So many are available there. Similarly, for mathematical computations, for example, if you want to handle huge amount of data, in the for kind of arrays and all. and you want to perform the matrix calculations, right? I mean, addition or the subtraction or multiplication, whatever it is, a complex mathematical computations. If you want to do, you can make use of NumPy, SciPy, and Matplotlib, or even Pandas, and many are available. Okay, and then we will go with the graphical user interface. Okay, so it can be, for example, you want to do a front end development for it. You can make use of a tKitner or Kiwi or PyQt and PySite. So these are all the things that is available. And Python, you name anything in the programming world, you will find you will find an application of it in different domains of it. Okay, and also Python has a huge library of the reusable components, and also you have a bigger community of Python developers. So you can make use of the things instead of you writing the code by yourself. You can make use of the library, and then you can start using it. And then similarly, that's how you can also get support from the community, Python community, and because the number of developers are very high, so you will find for any questions, you'll be able to find a support for that. Okay. So the few other features of Python, as I mentioned, it is very simple. It is simplicity, and it is open source and portability. So portability, when we say for the common man purpose, and if you write a program in one particular operating system, for example, you are writing the program using the Windows operating system, the same program you can take it into a Mac operating system, or it can be a Linux operating system, or it can be on a embedded system, or it can be anything. You can just say you'll be able to do that. So that is the power of portability. You will find it, and then it is embeddable and extensible as well, right? And then it is an interpreted language, and it has a huge libraries. As I mentioned, the libraries, when I might be hearing the word library again and again. So library for a common sense purpose, I just want to say that where. So libraries are nothing but I think that in a college or school, you will have a library where you will have the books of different areas of interest, right? Maybe it can be related to science, or it can be related to fiction, or it can be related to mathematics, or it can be related to research or aerospace or whatever it is, right? So if you want the library, what will you do? Suppose you are very much interested in the automobile part, you'll just go to the automobile section of it, and then you'll try to pick up the books from there, right? Similarly, the various reusable components, reusable programs which you have created by various developers, they're all organized in a kind of libraries. So you can choose them, and then you can directly start using it as well instead of creating your own programs. Okay, so that's where understanding about what kind of libraries existing itself is a bigger way of learning the programming language. Okay, let's quickly look at the roadmap of your learning how to go about it. Okay, so I mean the first and foremost thing is you need to know the core Python. Okay, this is what the whole purpose of this entire training session what we are going to go through. Okay, so we'll be covering the core Python thing, and then later slowly we will be introducing you to the web framework, and there may be data visualization part, machine learning, and all those things will be evolving to over a period of time. But we will be definitely covering these two essentially. I mean, core Python and the web framework part of it. Okay, and of course, including data visualization also, we'll be covering it up. Okay. And so for anything, as I mentioned, you need to know core Python is a must. And unless with this Python programming core is not clear, then none of them will be of most interesting to you, and you will not be able to understand it as well also. Okay, so try to understand the basic core Python program. Okay, and so and also there are other miscellaneous things like Open CV, that is nothing but the computer vision, and web scraping, and or prediction of models like what kind of suppose if you are going to a website like typically for example Amazon and this, okay, you just wanted to I'm sorry for example, we have the weather application, whether you want to predict whether you will have whether you'll get rain or it will be cloud or not. The predictions you are getting it here, right? So all those kind of things you'll be able to do. Okay. So as I mentioned, that there are a couple of use cases, especially which I prepared it for the mechanical engineers. I mean, like the who are compatible with the computer-aided design or computer-aided engineering. Okay, so where they can make use of the Python. I just given some use cases here. Okay, and similarly for the people who are with a networking background, so they can also look at where Python can be used. Okay, and if you are having different use cases for you, I mean, if you want to know what to do about it, you can always again cross check with me. I can help you with the the use cases which is applicable for your interest. Okay. So coming to the career opportunities, okay. So you have in Python, once you learn, you can become a web developer, Python full stack web developer, making use of web development and frameworks like Django. I'm just giving an example. Okay. Or if you are comfortable with the Flask, and you also Flask, you can get into that. If you are a tester, you want to get into the automation testing, okay, then in that case, for example, the Selenium is done using Python, so you can also learn the test automation part, okay. And if you are interested in the gaming industry, and then you want to be in the game development part, then for example, you can make use of Pygame, and you can use that, okay. And if you are in a better big data related work, like using Hadoop and Spark and all things, you'll be able to use that. And then you have the data science, AML, and smart devices. It can be your IoT devices, or it can be your smart house, like smart home solutions. You would be seeing it here. Like you would have heard about smart TV, smart refrigerator, right? Everywhere now the smart is being added. Now today it has gone to an extent to even smart cities, okay, where everything will be automatically happening, right? So these are all the things, different area where you can use your Python experience and then do that, contribute it, okay. And that's where I'm just keep on telling that here there are a lot of areas you have opportunities, right? But yeah, you need to prepare yourself first before applying for any of the job areas. Again, I can tell you, if you're thorough in one area, you can easily look for opportunities in different areas as well. Because but your core Python is very very essential. Okay, and then coming to the next one. So we'll quickly just go through how to install Python on your laptop or desktop. Okay, and then I'll show it to you how it should be done also. Okay, and then for example, you need to just simply go to your Chrome browser and then simply type Python in the search, and then you will find download. When you click on download, this is the link you will be finding that. Okay, I'll show it now. Okay, and I'll come back to this slide after demonstrating that. Okay, so now if you look at it here, I'm just going here and just simply type Python. Okay, I'm just clicking on Python, and then you will find it here. The welcome to python.org is there. And below that you will find downloads, right? So click on the download, you will come into this page. Okay, you will always find that what is the latest version of Python currently available. So 3.13.1, when it's automatically detect what is your operating system from where you are checking, and what is the latest version available as well. Okay, so if you want to look at for Linux or Unix or Mac OS or any other thing, so you can always explore that as well here. Okay, so now I'm just taking an example of Windows here. Okay, so what I'll do is I just click on Windows. Once I click on Windows here, I mean this is your latest Python release available, and any software. Okay, so you will always find there is a beta version, and also there is a stable version part of it, which would have already gone live. Okay, so you have, for a beginners like you, for you to, since you're learning it now, so you need to always focus on the stable version, and so that you will not, because you are interested in only learning now, so you are not going to do any R&D on the latest version. So always you prefer the latest version of latest stable version. You just focus on that. Okay. So what you need to do, just click on this the Python 3.12.8. So that is the latest stable version that is available. Okay. And then there is a different options available. For example, since we have selected Windows, so all that Windows installed for 64-bit system or 32-bit system, you will see it here. So if it is 64-bit, I mean, these days you'll find most of the laptops will be 64-bit itself. Suppose if you have a 32-bit system, you can go with this. Okay. So now all that you need to do is simply click on this link. Okay. When you click on that, you will see there is a download that is getting activated. Okay. So once the download is completed, okay. So you just see, you can see it here because it's already downloaded it. You will find multiple copies of that available. Okay. I'll just go to my download folder. This is what my download folder here. Okay, so this is what I'll be having it here. Okay, when you click on this, okay, so you'll be getting a window like this. I'll just show it to you. Since I already done my installation, I'll just show it to you how it will may look like. Okay, so this is how it will look like for you. Okay, once you download it, when you click on that, this first window, this is what it will come. And make sure that you just check the second also tick mark. Okay, I'm just again explain it here. The checkbox which is below the second one is by default will not be enabled. So you just enable it and then you do that part. Okay. Once you do that, then you can start installation. Okay. It will, by default it will ask for the admin permission. And if you are using a personal laptop, I think you'll be definitely will be an admin for that. So it can ask you for that confirmation. You can do that installation. It is not complex one. It may within a few minutes it will get installed. So you can make use of that as well. Okay, so once it is installed, and you can go to your Windows startup menu, and you will find that the latest version is installed. I have installed the earlier version 3.8, and the latest one also I installed in my system. Okay, so I'm just interested now. Let's focus only on the latest version 3.12. Okay, right. So let me quickly now just show it on the screen directly. So this is where you will see that here. I'm just going to my startup menu. Okay, and then I'm just scrolling down where Python is there. So you can see it at 3.12 is installed in my system. And I'm just going to IDLE Python, where I'm just going here. When I click on this is what I'll be getting it here. Okay. If you are done up to this, I mean, we can say that your installation is successful. So this is nothing but your Python editor, where you can write your Python program and you can see the results also, output also here. Okay. Okay. So just let me quickly take some examples for you to explain. And I'll just show you the very first step. For example, some of you are already familiar with some programming language. Suppose I just want to say hello Python. Okay. Or welcome to Python programming. I just want to do it here. So all that I need to do is I want it to be printed right on the screen. So what I'll do, I just simply say I know print comma print. Okay. And I just say then in a single quote, I just say welcome to Python programming. Okay, very simple, right? So I'm just saying it print and then doing this. It automatically creates. Welcome to Python programming. This is the output you'll be getting it here. You see it here, there is a common word which you are regular day to day we use print, right? And what is that you want to print? You are just passing that value. That is welcome to Python programming. I want you to do this. You just see that output how it has come, right? And in Python, I mean here itself I'll just tell you the beauty of Python. So I just copy this, okay, and instead of single quote, I just give double quote, okay, right? Now I just enter it here. You see it here. Still, it is returning me the same thing. That means Python doesn't differentiate whether you are using single quote or double quote, and it will work for it. Okay, only one thing is very important in Python is that If you are using a double quote here, make sure that you use double quote here. If you are using a single quote here, make sure that you are using single quote here. Okay, so that's how we'll be able to do that part. Okay, so let us try what will happen if I use one place single quote, the other place double quote. For example, here double quote is there. Let me use single quote here. Okay, now just run it. What will happen? So it says syntax error because we are starting with double quote and we are not ending with a double quote. Okay, so that is I mean only it is requesting you that have the common thing. Okay, so this is how we will be doing that part. Okay, and the next thing you will be noticing is that suppose I just want to do a small calculation. Okay, for example, let me take x equal to 10. Okay, I'm just giving a variable called x, and that is equal to the value of, I'm assigning 10 value for that. And then let me say y equal to 20, right? Then what obviously I'm interested is what is x plus y? Okay, so assume that let's have a variable called z, and then say x plus y. Okay, I just put it here. You will not find output now will come because you're not asked to print it, right? Now you want to have the output. So what I need to do? Print. Print. What you need to print? You need to print the value of z. So that's what you are just writing here. Because here you are saying you are not going to put it inside the quote because you are just using the variable name. Variable name is z, so you are not going to single quote. Here you are just passing the value for that. So value is different and variable is different. Okay. So now I'm just print times z. I'm just giving it here. You can see 10 plus 20 is 30. That's what it is giving to me. All right. So such a very powerful one. I mean, what you are seeing it in Python. Okay, there's one more interesting feature of Python also is that, for example, now I know I just declare my variable x equal to 10, right? Okay, let me now change it to x equal to 20. So now, if I want to see what is the value of my x, okay, so just print x, my latest value only it will come, even though I declared x equal 10. Now, because I just again the reassigned to 20, now the 20 only will be coming here. Okay, the next. Now, I just wanted to know what is the, because you see it in Python, you are not declaring what is the variable type, whether it is a string or integer or a float, you are not declaring it here. But you are just straight away used variable and then assigning the value to that. But then how does Python understand that what is that value it is? Okay, so the simplest way to do is that is you just simply say print. Okay, I want to know what is the type of it, right? Simply type. Okay, I'm just saying only type. Print type. Which one? What is the type of X only? I'm just interested to know what is the type. So I'm just giving it here. It says it is of the class integer. Okay, so that means it is integer type. Okay, so now for the same X, okay, instead of 20, let me give it as like this. 20. Let me give it as some value like. I'm just giving hello. Okay, so I'm just giving this value hello. I'm just putting a single quote. Okay, so now x I'm just given it here. Okay, sorry, there's no bracket is required here. X equal to hello. I'm just giving it here. Okay, so now I know that it is a text or nothing but string we call it, right? So it is a string. Okay, now but how Python understands that? So just simply try to put print and what is the type of, now you ask for what is x. Now if you see x, it is showing string. Str is nothing but string. Okay, so that means based on the value that you are assigning to it, it automatically understand it is a string or it is an integer or it is a I mean I also want to know what a float. Okay, let us try now x equal to 20.5 or 4. I just given. Now I just say print, right, type of x. Now I'm asking it, it is automatically finding it as float. So that means I don't have to explicitly declare my variable data types, right? So that is one of the interesting feature of Python, right? You don't have to explicitly say that one. Then obviously it will be saving a lot of lines of code as well, right? Okay. And you also would have noticed it here is here. Hey, I'm just given x equal to 10, y equal to 20, z equal to x plus y. But had it been if it's some other programming language, I need like Java or thing, x equal to 10, colon I need to give like this, right? But here it is not. Okay, for example, it will be x equal to 10, colon I need to give, and y equal to 20 colon I need to give. Then z equal to x plus y colon. And then now I'm saying print z. Okay, colon. You see Python whether you put in this colon at the end to say it as the end of statement, or you don't mention, still literally understand one and the same, right? But in other programming languages, this is mandatory. You just imagine how much of effort you will be reducing for yourself, and how it is very simple. Also, you can appreciate it, right? There are many things like this. Okay, so we'll be learning them over a period of time. Just only to tell you how simple it is. Okay, and also how easy it is. Okay, now let me quickly go through the same thing. So having done in with ID in ideally now, using online editor. How do I do that one? So just one example, I'll show it to you. Okay. Again, you go to your Google Chrome, and then on the search, you just type it as W3 schools. W3 schools, and Python is already available. Just click on that. Okay. So you can just click it here, and you can just click on any of the try it yourself. For example, I'm just using print allow world. I'm just doing that one. I'm just clicking it here. Okay, print allow world. If you see it here, I'm just writing my program here, and when I say click on run, and my output will come on the right side. Okay, so that means you don't have to have a Python installed on your system, and you can directly run your, learn your things directly using the online editor itself. Okay, so now I'm just repeat. I'm going to try the same thing whatever we have done there. Okay, so let me quickly go there and then copy the things. Okay, for example, I'm just saying print. Welcome to programming. I'm just saying it. I just copy that. I'll go to my Python tutorial. Sorry, here. I'm just going here and typing it here and just say run. So you will find the same output here, right? And this is of online. You are doing it now. Okay, and then so now let's do the same the calculations, right? Till now, whatever is available, you just copy that and now go to your editor. Now let me remove this and then replace with this one. Okay, now say run. You will see what is the value of z. You will see the 30, right? So like this, you can do it in the online editor also like this. Okay. So I just given an example for you also that the same thing is given, and here the sample also given it here for you, and you will see that result here, and the link also given here in case if you are not finding that, you can click here and you will find it compiling here. Okay, and one more thing also you will be quickly learn it here. For example, x I'm just giving it as Python, y value I'm giving it as is, and z I'm giving it as awesome. You know very well that these are all strings now, right? And by now you are clear whether I can give it in double quote or I can also give it in single quote also, right? When I say print x comma y comma z, okay, so now if you see x comma y comma z, when I say it is nothing but concatenating all the three variables. So now it's concatenating all the three variables. That's where you'll find Python is awesome. You are just getting it here. Are you getting it here? So this is such a powerful one, and you can see very the simplicity of that. You are not writing anything extra. Simply say print x y z. Your job is over. So it understands that it is to concatenate and do it as well. In other programming language, you need to use concatenate or some symbols you need to use, all will be there. So it is the simplest way. Of course, there are other ways of doing it in Python also. So we will be learning them in the subsequent modules. Okay. And lastly, we have one more thing that is called how to install. Though it is mandatory for you to install, Python on your laptop or desktop, you can also install your Python exe on your mobile as well. Like you can make use of Python 3 as an app which you can download, and in that you'll be able to write your Python programming and then run it as well and then see the results, right? So that you can make use of that for your learning purpose. Okay. But we are still again strongly recommend you to learn only in the desktop or laptop, which will be more comfortable for you. But this you can use for unavoidable circumstances. Maybe if some of you may not be having laptops, like especially school children, so you can just try to learn the basic things here. But you'll not be able to do all the things whatever we learn in this the training sessions. Okay, but you can try out most of them. Okay. So that's all maximum. These are the points that we wanted to explain to you. Okay, wanted to so that you are familiarized with the basic introduction about Python. Okay, and please do go through as I mentioned. All these training materials are available to you. I mean, we'll share it with you. Okay, and feel free to go through them and listen to the recorded session again and again. And once the basic things are in place, it will be more comfortable for you. Okay, as we again, I'm repeating it here. Please make it a point to practice them. Practice only will make you a perfect programmer. Okay, don't worry about the errors that may come. More and more you errors you get, more and more you get a clarity on how to do the programming part. Okay, but never stop your curiosity to learn, and you continue doing that. And one fine day you will find yourself as a great programmer. Okay, in Python. Okay, so with this we will conclude the first module of introduction in Python. Okay, let's connect again in the next session. Okay, in the next module. And until then, bye. Bye, everyone.